Now just relax this body. Intentionally just relax this body. The doubt is equal to, you know, your intention is to relax this body, but at times your hearing come into context, your thoughts arise, your discomfort set in. It is pulling your attention away to relax this body. Thus, doubt arise. I repeat. 5 hindrances, doubt. Intentionally, I know I want to relax this body, and I'm trying to relax this body. At the same time, thoughts arise, discomfort arise, to pull my intention to relax this body away. And I start entertaining the thoughts. I start to move and adjust this body. Thus, doubt. So doubt is opposing energy to pull your intentional attention away from what you wanted to do. So investigate and see for yourself doubt. Just relax this body and do nothing else. Remember, meditation is not doing anything. It's just the ability to first relax this body and doing nothing. Just slowly train this body, cultivate the mind without sensual, connected outside. Meaning you shut down all your sense base, and yet you feel comfortable, calm and peaceful. Notice when there is thoughts arise, when there is discomfort in the body, there is tension built up. Relax through the tension. Soften the body even further. So there is these 3 things. 1, initiate the intention on the attention. That there is a object. The object is now relax this body, doing nothing. So the intention has to be initiated by to hold the attention on an object. Intended object, the body. What about the body? Just to relax, doing nothing. And comfortable, calm and peaceful. Until slowly the doubt weakens. Until slowly you notice that you are comfortable without any opposing energy to pull your attention away. You just settle down. Once the body is calm, relaxed, settled, continue to relax it even further. Doing nothing, just be comfortable in these positions, doing nothing. aware three things take place automatically. One, the mind is relatively quiet. Two, the body continue to relax. Three, the body breathe on its own. You are no longer performing breathing as an activity. The body breathes on its own. Mind quiet. Absence of emotional mind. Eightfold path. Number 8, concentrations. The concentrations in order to experience the first jhana, there are 5 hindrances. Experience temporarily, experience initial quietness of this mind. What are the 5 hindrances? The 5th, we just discussed, doubt. Opposing energy to pull your original attention away, thus doubt. First, sensual desire. Your eye sense base, even your eye is closed, no need to see, nothing to see. Your smell sense knows, hearing sense knows, your touch sense contact, your thoughts, and your mouth, speech. So even though your mouth is not opening, but somehow you may be talking to yourself, no entertaining of these thoughts that arise. So, absence of sensual desire. First, hindrances. 2, as we continue to relax this body, notice there isn't any anger, ill will, or hatred. As you continue to relax this body, aware there is no fear, worries, or restlessness. You're just comfortably relaxing this body, doing nothing. Fourth, you're not trying very hard to relax this body. No sloth and torpor, drowsiness, lethargy. You're trying to fight against this. If all these 5 are absent, guided by the Dhamma, of 5 hindrances, see for yourself at certain moment you are experiencing samadhi. Initial quieten of this emotional mind. The initial experience of this absence of emotional mind. Just to relax this body as object. Soften this body as object. Doing nothing as object for your attention to settle down. Sustain, prolong this quietness. Sustain this quietness. Prolong it approximately 5 more minutes. Okay, now very gently breathe in, raise the chest, expand the rib cage, and now breathe it out. Again, intentionally, you know you are breathing in by raising the chest, expand the rib cage, bring the air all the way down to the abdominal. Follow your attention, follow the air all the way down to the abdominal. And breathe it out. Now slowly open your eyes. Just now, we briefly touch, and this will be the starting of every week we'll be doing this, the 5 hindrances. Yeah? To notice that the hindrances indeed absent while you practice sitting down just to relax this body. We'll use different object. At the end of today's, we also use exercise, physical activity, just to move the body to at least you know you can direct your attention to various parts of the body to notice the weakening of that 5 hindrances right here. So much so that you know you have the ability to close your eyes, 5 hindrances disappear. At least I know there is this 5 hindrances that I have to go through and I check. At least I know that when I walk, I could put my attention on the rhythm of my breath. At least when I know that I move my body, at the end of the class, I'll show you how to go about doing it. At least you know that there is this thing called 5 hindrances. So there are 4 areas of grossness, subtle, gentle, subtle, or nothing. Just now, when we relax the body, is quite subtle. Just relax this body. Just relax and doing nothing. So there are many ways to relax the body and notice that you are in samadhi. But the thing is different is that can I in the samadhi for a moment or I'm in the samadhi for a prolonged period of time? Yeah, called the first jhana. So I would like to start off and explain why we do the Pali chanting. You see, every day we come back home. Our house is our home, so the body is well rested. So we have a home to come back. But many times when we are back home, even lying on the bed, our mind is still not at home. Our mind is somewhere all outside. Entertaining the thoughts arise, keep on going outside. So even though the body is at home, but the mind is never at home. What do I mean by mind is at home? At least you know that you are holding the attention on some object, holding the attention on something. Now, what is something that you're talking about? The something could be the activity that we talked about the last session, right? It could be a 60 activity that you have, you're doing it, or simply go back to take refuge in the triple gem. Yeah, so I'll explain to you why this is so. I'll go back to this part here again. Okay, taking refuge. Taking refuge is referred to taking refuge the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha itself. Now, this one has got a history. Why this Dhamma, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha? The history story goes like this. You see, when the Buddha was in the village, and the village chief asked the Buddha, what happened if, let's say, you leave this village? Where do you think that we as a villagers must we put our mind? Where does our mind dwell on? Where do we place our mind on? So the Buddha go about and explain, see, where do you place, or which dwelling place should we live in? Meaning the mind. Where the mind should we live in? Where is the home for the mind? The body, yes, we are in the village, but where is our mind? Currently, Buddha is right there, so we can put our mind on the Buddha. But right now, Buddha is no longer there. He's leaving the village now. So where can we leave our mind? Yeah, so that's where the question is. So Buddha go about and answer. So when you are practicing, you have to get conviction yourself. The conviction you must arise. Now, what I mean by conviction here arising? When you close your eyes earlier on a moment, when I mentioned about the doubt, so you notice that there is some energy pull you away. You notice that thoughts arise to pull your attention away. At least you notice that there is a tension. At least you also notice that the thoughts operate on its own. You also notice that the body operates on its own to pull your attention away. Now at least you know that there's something pull your attention away. So next time you work on this, to a point where you notice right now, nothing is pulling you. You start to grow that conviction and you want to practice some more. To see for yourself that you are in samadhi in any situation, be it on activity, be it walking, be it washing your dishes, or be it even do your reading or even do your chanting. Your mind is not wandering around. So you grow the conviction by knowing that you are in the samadhi initial stage temporarily while you're practicing. One aroused in the practice with persistence. So the persistence is not that I start to chant, therefore I will be in samadhi. If possible, when I do activity after activity, I must remind myself the mind must be at home. So say for example, if I'm walking, if I cannot pull my attention back, I walk. And then when I'm doing my dishwashing, I will pull my attention to wash the dish without practicing the habit of letting my attention go to my thoughts and entertain my thoughts while my hand moves by itself. So I try to practice in such a way to be persistent, to be mindful of what I'm doing. Therefore, concentrations arise. The first jhana, samadhi, arise. Concentration is under the Eightfold Path, the last one. And concentration hereby referring specifically on the four jhana, the first, second, third, and fourth. The first jhana is the absence of the emotional mind. Therefore, one aroused in practice is discerning. Discerning is hereby referring to the wisdom. The wise itself, the wise, how do the wise become wise? Eightfold Path, correct understanding. Having correct understanding, then one can think correctly. When one thinks correctly, one will keep on reminding ourselves to tell myself that my action has to be mindful. So it is always in the loop again, always in the loop. Of course, these are for practitioners or people who wanted to practice but do not know what to do and how to do and what do I do to start. So again, as we mentioned briefly, I'll pause for a while. Every day, you know that we have to come back home. Our body has to be at home. As you know, if let's say we don't come home, we're wandering outside, we become loitering outside. It's uncomfortable. It's not sustainable. Coming back home, it is become constant. Something that is constant back home is very sustainable. Something that is not constant outside all the time, you keep on moving outside again and out again, it is not sustainable because everything changes all the time. Therefore, it is not sustainable in the long run if you keep on going outside. The body got a home. How about the mind? So therefore, I would suggest, if we do not know where to start, put take refuge on the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Yeah. So therefore we chant just now. Yeah. Every time we will chant the same thing. Let me just continue again. Huh? Okay. So after Buddha said that, these are the 5 qualities one should have. Further, you should develop the 6th quality. And what are the 6? That's where the Buddha comes in. He said, to not let the mind overcome with passion, the desire, hatred, and delusions. Over here. His mind is not overcome with desire, hatred, and delusions. So the 3 unwholesome roots, which we are going through later. So his mind head straight based on the Tathagata, meaning head straight based on the Dhamma itself. Continue. Based on the Dhamma. Just now is the Buddha, Dhamma, and head straight based on the Sangha. So therefore, we take refuge on the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. These 3, the triple gem. So therefore, we started off doing the chant in this manner, right? First, paying homage 3 times. Homage to the Buddha. Homage to the Dhamma. Homage to the Sangha. And then this is a reminder of our behavior, our action. The 5 precepts. Abstain from killing. Abstain from not taking things not given. Abstain from sexual misconduct. Abstain from false speech. And also abstain from intoxication. So we can always go back to this chanting to keep our mind at home in this manner. So first thing first, I want to start off the thing correctly. Body must be at home. Mind must be at home all the time. If we are practicing, especially more so for me, myself, we are already 50 plus years old. Good 50 years to practice only. Very short time. Can I be able to see for myself at 120 years old before I close my eyes? Do I have the ability, based on my cultivations, not interfere by what I hear, what I heard outside me or beside me? Also, I can shut down my emotional mind, do not disturb by thoughts that arise in me. I do not know what kind of thoughts arise at that time, the last moment before I go. What thoughts arise? What do I hear? Or how discomfort this body can be. So it can be 50, 60, or 70 years just to practice. Do I have the ability to shut down the emotional mind? And how do I know my emotional mind can be shut down? So this one, we'll be doing it every week for the 9 sessions. Be reminder for every week for the 9 sessions. Let me just continue again. So I'll stress a very important part on that. Huh? So, he mentioned, put his mind head straight based on the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha itself. Now we continue. What are the 6 quality? The 6th quality is none other than the virtue, which is the 8-fold path again, the morality. Based on what I say, based on what I take action, and based on my livelihood, the virtue itself. So that the morality based on the 5 precepts and based on generosity. And this last one, based on the quality of the Deva. Deva, one of the subjects that we talk about is the heaven or the 31 realms. That one I'll be touching on it much the later stage, not today. Yeah. So this will be a brief guideline. I want to stress the importance of home. I will start off the session by stressing the importance of putting your mind at home all the time. without putting the mind at home all the time, then our mind will succumb to distraction from the senses that arise, and then it will pull your attention away, and you entertain your attention all the time on all over the place. Yeah. Now, next, moving forward, this part I would like you to, I hope that you can be able to, this one, here. It's important to me, and I want you to have this, to memorize the Dhamma itself. Now, what do I mean by memorizing the Dhamma? So, the 5 aggregates must remember. 3 unwholesome roots, which is the desire, hatred, delusions, consist of attachment, greed, craving, anger, fear, ego, delusive thoughts. That one must remember. I will only be able to recite all this. Yeah. The 3 unwholesome roots, which is the 3 desire, hatred, delusion, and the 3 universal truth on the 3 unwholesome root itself. So what you need to remember, I just briefly go through 5 aggregates, 3 unwholesome roots, which attach to the human being itself, because human being without these unwholesome roots is already no longer human being. They are already Arahant, because he's not human being anymore, because without this desire, hatred, and delusions. So this one makes human being. Animal has got this as well. God also got this as well. Yeah. So, but however, this, what we see is just an energy. The energy arises depending on the environmental factor, depending on the determinism itself, the 12 things. That's where these 12 things arise. So this one has got 3 universal truths, which is what they are: impermanent, unsatisfactory, not you. I briefly run through again. What else do you need to remember? You need to remember this. There are 4 noble truths. What else you need to remember? The 4 foundation of mindfulness. What else you need to remember? 8-fold path plus 2, 5 hindrances. The key important of this time, the 5 hindrances. What else do you need to remember? 12 links. The Paticca Samuppada, or the determinism itself. Yeah, the 12 links. 7 factors of enlightenment. And also you need to know the way to stream entry. If let's say throughout the whole of this year, next year, if you're determined to go into actually enter the stream, I think you did a good job. And what's so great about entering the stream? See, human beings on the 5th realm, below are all the animal and hungry ghosts and all those, the hell, all those. 6th realm to 31 realm, they are all heavenly realms. When we enter the stream, we are guaranteed not to go below as human being. We will always stay as a human being or on the 6th all the way to the 31 realm. We are guaranteed, no matter which state, which condition the body could be. And how do you know you enter the stream? There are 4 criteria. First criteria, at least you know that you associate friends with integrity. So the friend with integrity, I always mention, say what I do, do what I say. So not to expect other people that has got integrity, but expect myself with integrity. So I start with myself first, is say what I do, do what I say. Listen to the teaching of true Dhamma. The Dhamma itself hereby we're referring to, there is no cultural connotation inside there. There is no influence of any cultural practices inside here. Just directly from what the Buddha taught. Then we practice from there. Yeah. Third, having appropriate attention. Therefore, having appropriate attention to have your attention on an object. Eventually, you will place your attention without an object. You aware everything. Yet again, aware everything is attention itself. Having appropriate attention. Fourth, practice in accordance to the teaching of true Dhamma. So in order to listen to the teaching of true Dhamma that we are doing now is not good enough. I need you to memorize the Dhamma itself, the key important Dhamma itself. Once you memorize, you are guided by the Dhamma. When you practice and you question the Dhamma and you see for yourself, because the whole practice is not to follow what other people said. But the key important thing is to know the Dhamma, memorize the Dhamma, and when you start to practice, you see for yourself, because why? You investigate. The moment you're having appropriate attention, you start to question, why like this? Based on the Dhamma, this Dhamma itself, it says like this. Now, what do I see on myself? So it has to come from your own view. Yeah? So now, moving forward, I would like you to just either take note or memorize. I'll be repeating this every Tuesday. Yeah? So let's start with this one first. 5 aggregates. So the title is called 5 aggregates. Okay, I give you a minute to go and take your pen and the paper in case you don't have a pen and paper. Yeah, go and take your pen and paper while I drink my water. I will go through 2 to 3 times. So first, 5 aggregates. Yeah, the 5 aggregates consist of the mind and the body. The 5 aggregates consist of the mind and the body. So the mind break into 4 parts: the consciousness, mental formations, perceptions, and feelings. The finger represents each category. Consciousness, mental formations, perceptions, and feeling. Now, this feeling itself is only pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Consciousness. Most of human beings are born unconscious. Therefore, when we are unconscious, our sixth sense consciousness, called the vijnana, perform their own perceptions. Your eye consciousness perform their eye perceptions. Your nose, your taste, your hearing, your touch, your thoughts, consciousness perform their own perceptions by itself. So even though you want to hold your attention on your body to relax, but when you are hearing something else, when your thoughts arise, your attention shift. So what we are cultivating for the next 10, 20, 30 years is the ability to hold this attention, not so much reactive to whatever your sense base come into contact. That is a whole key point. So much so that your attention is centered on wherever you want to put your attention on any object. So much so that you started to let go of all other distraction. You're comfortably there because you notice and you saw for yourself, you experienced it many times, that when your attention is on an object, it's far more constant and comfortable than your attention is moving all over the place. It is not constant and it is not comfortable and it is not sustainable. You realize it yourself. Therefore, you start to see the comparison. You want to put your attention on a object of your choice. Yeah. So therefore, most of the human beings are born unconscious. Your sixth sense based consciousness form their own perceptions. When they form their own perceptions, they will start to access information based on what you have programmed in your mental formations here. Now, next, let me touch on how am I going to be unconscious to be conscious? There is this intention here. Therefore, this is a switch. I have to intentionally initiate the switch to turn the unconscious state to a conscious state. Without me intentionally want to turn it on to be conscious, to be mindful, to hold the attention, there is no way that automatically they will function on its own. No, automatically they will function perception on its own. So you have to initiate an intention to be conscious. Or else, they will form their own perception to access information based on what you have stored inside your mental formation. Now, these mental formations comes with, first, karma. And what gives karma? Based on what I think, say, do. Through ignorance is based on what I think, say, do, because I'm not sure, therefore I think wrongly, I tell myself wrongly over and over again, and I also behave certain way, think, say, and do certain things. Yeah. So based on what I think, say, do, through ignorance, karma formation is condition. Condition store where? Store inside mental formations. So this one is 12 links. Through ignorance, karma formation is condition. But now I want you to just remember 5 aggregates, but there is a link between these 5 aggregates. Eventually, over time, you get to see this link. or you get to have time to write down all these links. But if you miss it, it's okay, because I'm repeating so many times. When the perceptions based on your mental formation, based on what you store inside there, feelings arise. So it's either you feel pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. When these feelings arise, straight away this unwholesome roots arise. This is the one that we are working towards dropping this off. How can we drop this off? Until you see for yourself that this actually, they are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you, and you are not distracted by all this. Because you know, you saw it, and you have the ability not to even distracted by this energy. Because you know they are impermanent, they are unsatisfactory, and it's not you. So therefore, what is this again? These are the three unwholesome roots. What are the three? Desire, hatred, delusions. So this one is the title, is called Three Unwholesome Roots. And what are the three? Desire, hatred, delusion. What does it consist of? The desire consists of attachment, greed, craving. The hatred consists of anger and fear. The delusive thought consists of ego and delusive thoughts. The delusion consists of the ego and delusive thoughts. So this is the whole teaching of the Buddha, to get human being to drop these three unwholesome roots. In order to drop these three unwholesome roots, therefore you got two parts there. One is work on your samatha meditation, the other one is working on your vipassana meditations. I repeat again. To drop this off, you have to work on two parts of the meditation. One is called the samatha meditation, to experience samadhi, experience first and second and third and fourth jhana. The first to fourth jhana is called samatha meditations, throughout the whole branch there. So your mind is quiet, is still. At the same time, you have to work on the vipassana meditation to see everything else is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you. See it for your own eyes. And yet you are not disturbed by what you saw, that it is desire. You are not disturbed by what you saw, that it is hatred. You are not disturbed by your own delusive thoughts, because you practice the samatha meditations, which you experience samadhi all the times, intentionally. Short period of time, initially, temporarily. But you're putting yourself at home all the time. Okay, so let me repeat. 5 aggregates, 3 unwholesome roots, 3 universal truths. What are the 3 universal truths? The title is 3 universal truths, and what are they consist of? They are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you. This impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you is referring to this energy. Desire, hatred, delusions. This impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you also refer to the 5 aggregates. Impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not you. Because 5 aggregates, the body doesn't belong to us. At 120 years old, we have to go, means you have to go. The whole mind is just an activity of the body. The mind itself is not the mind. We call the mind is because just for understanding and conversation. The mind itself is just an activity of this body. And since we say it is an activity and the body is an entity, the activity can be stopped. When we experience stopping of the emotional mind, we experience the samadhi. We experience the first jhana temporarily, initially. Okay? So 5 aggregates, 3 unwholesome roots, 3 universal truths. What else you need to remember? 4 noble truths. And what are they? There is suffering. The suffering hereby referring to this. The 3 unwholesome roots. That's what Buddha is talking about all day long. There is suffering. There is suffering, the cause of suffering. What causes the suffering? Because human beings always born unconscious. We are always on the unconscious state. So the moment we are unconscious state, our 6 sense-based perception always function on its own. Depend what we program inside our mental formations, based on what our karma, based on what I think, say, do in the past. Therefore, I will react to what I think, say, do accordingly. So the cause of suffering is because I'm unconscious state. The cessation of suffering. How to stop the suffering? By stopping the emotional mind. Being conscious. At least temporarily, I know I can stop, I can pause, I can cease the activity of the body we call the mind. Yeah? I think the last time we remember mentioning the photographer when he's paying attention to press the shutter before the bird can open up his wing. During those moments, that quiet moment, there is no suffering. No? There's completely no emotional mind out there. Quiet, peace. Therefore, people working on hobbies or go out to perform their activities they enjoy, they actually keep that mind very quiet. They're doing sports, their mind is very quiet. They feel good because it's constant. That's why they keep on repeating the things there. It is this meaning. Yeah. So again, there is suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And now this path leading to cessation of suffering is referring to the Eightfold Path itself. Next, Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path. So that four foundational, the four noble truths, the fourth, the path leading to the cessation of suffering, hereby is referring to the Noble Eightfold Path. And what are the Eightfold Paths? The Eightfold Path break into three parts there. The first two refer to the wisdom. The next three refer to the morality. The last three referring to the concentrations, which is the samatha meditations, or the first to fourth jhana. Yeah. Now, first two, correct understanding. Based on what the Dhamma teach, we understand first. See whether can we repeatedly understand what is the message. Then once I understood, can I think, having correct thinking based on the teaching of the Dhamma itself. So this one gives us the wisdom to speak to myself, take certain actions, and live a certain lifestyle. That gives us the morality, right? So it's correct understanding, correct thinking, correct speaking, correct doing, action, or correct livelihood. The concentration itself is correct effort, correct mindfulness, correct concentrations. Over here, I plus 2. Thus, is E equal to MC cubed. E equal to MC cubed. What are the two C further? Plus 2. Buddha did mention consistency. But consistency, when I work on other people, consistency, when we meet every week, is very consistent. Every Tuesday we meet, very consistent. But what do you do tomorrow need continuous practice. What do you do the day after? Need continuous practice by yourself. The intention has to be there to flow through. Because without the intention, consistent itself, too slow. So I repeat again. Correct effort, correct mindfulness, correct concentration, plus 2. What are the 2? Correct consistency, correct continuous effort again. Yeah, so the Eightfold Path is just 8, but I plus 2 more. So give us the E equal to MC cubed. Now, next, concentrations. The whole of the 9 session, these 5 hindrances will be very important key things that we'll be going through again and again and again. What are the 5 hindrances? The 5 hindrances hereby says sensual desire, ill will and hatred, worries and restlessness, sloth and torpor, and doubt. How do you go about doing this? When you are looking on your camera, taking the bird before the wing open up, you know you are in that zone. Be a bit conscious to pull yourself up and then check. Investigate, because 7 factors of enlightenment, right? The moment you know you are mindful, don't just mindful all the way, you have to investigate. To investigate, why are you doing right now? Which part of the Dhamma that you are experiencing? Which part of Dhamma do you solve for yourself? You investigate. What do you investigate? Eightfold Path, the concentration, hindrances. Am I in the Samadhi right now? Gross. Am I in the Samadhi? How do I know I confirm I'm in the Samadhi? lack of the 5 hindrances, the 5 hindrances missing. And what are 5 hindrances again? Check your notes. Sensual desire, ill will and hatred, worries and restlessness, sloth and torpor, doubt. Now, sloth and torpor, lethargy, sleepiness or drowsiness, and you're trying very hard to stay awake. You're trying very hard to stay awake because it is just going along that side. So when you notice that you are trying hard to stay awake and trying hard to pay attention, it is not samadhi because this part is not there. Sloth and torpor is there, right there. It is still quite strong. Yeah, so you check. So only when you check through and then you know you saw yourself. Yeah, so this is Eightfold Path. Now next over to this side. 4 foundation of mindfulness. And what are the 4? Mindfulness of the body. Today we started off do the mindfulness of the body. We experience body really relaxed. Mindfulness of the feelings. Mindfulness of the mind. Mindfulness of the mind object. You can write down a short notes. Mindfulness of the mind. The mind hereby referring to absence of the emotional mind. How do you know the emotional mind absent? 5 hindrances gone. When I'm washing my dishes, can I absent of the emotional mind? Can. Gross. Can. I'm using to washing my dishes. I notice I zoning in. Gross. Still samadhi. Gross. When I'm taking the picture on a bird, absent of the hindrances, yeah, can. Gross. Still very gross. So there are 4 categories: gross, gentle, subtle, and nothing. Okay? So eventually, nothing meaning you put your attention, no attention. You drop off your attention, you're aware everything, including your body as an object. Your thoughts arise also as an object. Everything else you hear also as an object, but your attention just stay everywhere, but not going anywhere. Just aware. There's meditation also. But this one will be a little bit need practice because human mind need to hook on something, need to attach on something. You attach on the sound, you also feel good. You attach on your body, at least you know there's a body. Easier that way, but you have open awareness. Now this one need practice. Can be done. Yeah. So what are the 4 foundations of mindfulness again? Mindfulness of the mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feelings, mindfulness of the mind, mindfulness of the mind object. What is mind object? Mind object is the thought that arises. The thought that arises, that is an object itself. Second jhana. First jhana, second jhana. So when you are practicing all the time, when you are sitting down, now you are sitting for next half an hour, let's say, you will notice absence of the mind. But you have to continue to sit, not washing your plate and you are absent of mind thinking stop, right? You have to sit down. Then you notice that if you go further, the thinking also stop. Absent of the mind object. You're mindful of this object also gone. Next, 12 links. Paticca Samuppada or dependent originations. The title. Through ignorant, karma formation is conditioned. So therefore, I mentioned earlier, because I do not know what I think, say, do, I think, say, do in the wrong way. I keep on thinking the wrong thing. I keep on saying the wrong thing to myself. I keep on taking certain action. The behavior is also wrong. I will continue to put in this karma. Karma formation is conditioned into the mental formation here. And it is stored right there. Therefore, you perceive based on what you store. So moving forward, based on Eightfold Path, correct understanding, correct thinking, I have to apply based on what I think, say, do correctly right now. So wherever that I plant inside my mental formation, I put in good karma here. I put in good karma into my mental formation, not the ignorant karma into my mental formation. So through ignorant, karma formation is conditioned. Through karma formation, consciousness is conditioned. Through consciousness, mind and body are conditioned. Through the mind and body, 6 sense bases are conditioned. So you see, through karma formation, unconsciously, I always condition based on what I perceive. It functions on its own. Through mind and through consciousness, the mind and body are conditioned. You put the mind and body into anywhere you want because your mind is taking this body to anywhere you want to go. And whenever your body goes to anywhere, outside, not at home, your 6 sense bases come into contact all the time. Because you're putting yourself in the wrong place, perhaps putting yourself in the correct place, doing the right thing. Therefore, you come into correct contact. So again, through ignorance, karma formation is conditioned. Through karma formation, consciousness is conditioned. Through consciousness, the mind and body are conditioned. Through mind and body, 6 sense bases are conditioned. Through 6 sense bases condition, contact. Your eye come into contact. That's where the vijnana comes in. Because the eye perception formed by itself. Your consciousness formed by itself. Yeah, through contact, feelings is conditioned. Through feeling, that's where the craving is conditioned. The craving is not only craving, the whole bunch of this, the desire, hatred, delusions, they are conditions. Through craving, the clinging on is conditioned. So I think in the past, we did mention that how do I know I've been practicing for 10 years or 5 years, how do I know I improve? Based on the 12 links. When the anger arises, I know I cannot stop my anger, but do I cling on to it? Do I unknowingly bring the anger and then continue to think about it until I fall asleep, I'm still thinking about it, or do I intentionally drop it off? At least I don't cling, right? So at least I know, based on the 12 links, it's guided by the Dhamma itself, guided by the 12 links. You check. Yeah. So again, through clinging on, the power of becoming is conditioned. Through the power of becoming, rebirth is conditioned. Hereby, rebirth is rebirth as a human being. When we rebirth as a human being, it comes with a whole bunch of these desire, hatred, delusions. But hereby, we can also say rebirth of a new hatred, rebirth of a new attachment, rebirth of a new anger, rebirth of a new fear. Because I keep on entertaining these thoughts that arise, or the action that I did, I must be able to know how to stop. So again, because when it's rebirth, that's where the pain, sorrow, suffering, lamentation happen. If I do not want to have pain, sorrow, suffering, lamentation, what must I do? Don't rebirth of new anger, new desire, new delusive thoughts. Keep the mind always at home. Don't let the mind delusive. Keep on thinking about something else outside. Bring the mind back home. Put your mind on an object for your attention to settle down. How not to rebirth of a new desire, hatred, and delusions. Don't walk that path of becoming. How not to walk the path of becoming. Don't cling on to it. Don't cling on to what? Cling on to this fella. Cling on to the desire, hatred, delusion. Don't cling on to the attachment, greed, craving, anger, fear, ego, and delusive thought. Don't cling on to this. This is important. At least we practice, we know, this is the thing that I need to do. Not only just continue to, to chant is important, but chanting, you know that why you are chanting, because you want to put your attention on the chant itself as a tool for your mind to be at home. But still again, there are so many things to practice. At least I know I don't cling on to it. I must be able to integrate what I learned from the Buddha, the Dhamma itself, and the Sangha into my life. It has to be workable in my life. Okay? So, the 12 things, I repeat again quickly. Through ignorance, karma formation is conditioned. Through karma formation, consciousness is conditioned. Through consciousness, the mind and body are conditioned. Through the mind and body, 6 sense bases are conditioned. Through 6 sense bases, contact is conditioned. Through contact, feelings are conditioned. Through feelings, craving is conditioned. Through craving, clinging on is conditioned. Through clinging on, the power of becoming. Through the power of becoming, rebirth is conditioned. Through rebirth, that's where pain, sorrow, suffering, lamentation, old age, illness, death are conditioned. So I ask myself, if I do not want to have pain, sorrow, suffering, lamentation, old age, death, can? Don't rebirth. Don't rebirth. That's how. Because you walk the whole path. And go back to the beginning. The Paticca Samuppada start from where? Through ignorance. Karma formation is conditioned. How not to be ignorant? Go back to the Eightfold Path. Having correct understanding. So that I can think. correctly. And what is correct? Based on the Dhamma. Okay? Next, 7 factors of enlightenment. 1, mindfulness. The moment you are mindful, the moment you know you're in samadhi, the moment you know that your emotional mind are absent, don't just continue to enjoy, and then forget about investigation. Investigate. What do you investigate? Investigate, confirm, is there 5 hindrances? Gone. See for yourself, set this foundation very strongly, very firmly. You know, I saw it many times. That's where the conviction comes in, right? Let me just share this part again. That's where the conviction comes in. Here. Let me see, how do I go about doing it? Oops, sorry. Okay, hang on. That's where the conviction comes in. This is the one. Let me just share this. Oops. Okay, here. Yeah. One who aroused into practice is one of conviction. Persistent, mindful. Develop that concentration. You know the emotional mind stop. You know the thinking mind stop. And you develop wisdom. Wisdom based on what you understood on the Dhamma and what you think. All this. So, 7 factors of enlightenment. First, mindfulness. Second, investigations. Specifically, investigate the Dhamma itself. So in order to investigate the Dhamma, I have to memorize the Dhamma. If not, I will not know exactly what to investigate. I mean, which one do I start? So we have this few. Are they the whole teaching? No, they are not the whole teaching, but they are essential pillars of the Dhamma. Third, energy. How do you know your investigation is correct? Energy arises in you. Energy doesn't mean that you have to put in a lot of effort and energy. You don't need to put in effort at all. The energy just pushes you. You are able to sustain. You are able to investigate further. You are not even trying hard. You're just there, just there. Example of energy. When you meditate, when your body is locked, and you can sit there for hours, not that you're trying to sit there for hours until you're sweat, no, you're just there. No need to do anything, just there. There's a certain form of energy there because the conviction grows in you. Absent of the emotional mind. Yeah. Next, rapture of happiness. When the 4 foundation of mindfulness of the mind cease. Mindfulness of the mind object cease. When the mind quiet, the mind object, the thoughts also disappear. When these two disappear, 7 factor of enlightenment, happiness will arise. Rupture of happiness. Because lack of the emotional mind, lack of the thoughts, the thinking mind, suddenly you notice rupture of happiness. This is where the happiness is referring to, rupture of happiness. The body becomes very calm. It's locked inside there. While you meditate, the body is calm. Neither pleasant nor unpleasant. You're sitting there for hours, it's not pleasant or not unpleasant. Neither pleasant nor unpleasant. You're just calm. The body is just calm because the mind is no longer there. Absent of the activities of this body, we call the mind. The mind is no longer there. No emotional mind, no thinking mind, no thoughts arise. The body just there. So again, mindfulness, investigation, energy, rupture of happiness, calm. You experience concentrations and equanimity. You experience first the 4th jhana and the equanimity itself. 7 factors of enlightenment. I'm running out of time. Let me just continue the last one. How do I know I enter the way to the stream entry? There are 4 criteria. And what are the 4? First, associate friends with integrity. Of course, you surround yourself with good friends, People who say what they do and do what they say. People with high integrity. But how do you know that they have integrity until and unless we ourselves be the one with integrity first? It helps a lot because we say what I do what I say. Then we know. Yeah. Second, listen to the teaching of true Dhamma. Now, therefore, this part here, you listen, but this whole night session is not about you listening only. I want you to remember and you recite. And then you'll be able to memorize them. So at the end of the 9 or the 8, you will have to recite. Yeah, hopefully everybody do it together. Yeah. And third, having appropriate attention. So therefore, having appropriate attention for you to hold your attention on an object. Fully aware, subjective mind still moving, but you take the subjective mind as an object, not reacting to it or responding to the subjective mind. Just an object. You put your attention on any object to a point that you are aware everything else. Yeah. Having appropriate attention. Last, practice in accordance to the teaching of the true Dhamma. So once you have this, at least you know you are close to the way to stream entry. And these are the essential teachings that I want you to memorize, not only to listen. Okay, now let me share this. Actually, today, there is this part here, movement and exercise. Yeah, mindfulness of the body. Let me understand from you. If you have this, then this one, no need. If you have this on your own, but I need you to let me know, if possible. I think I need to prepare some kind of survey to check with you, because I do not know who am I talking to, so I would not be able to customize a little bit here and there. But at least I need to know the mindfulness of the body. Is that I want you to be able to know that you are able to experience grossness, gross, gentle, subtle, nothing, or gross, while doing something, some activity that you are doing, some kind of hobby that you are enjoying, or if not, then we do exercise, then let you experience. While we stand up, do exercise. But not today, we can start next week, but before that, I need to understand first. Unless you have some kind of hobby, some activities that you enjoy, and you, when you are enjoying this activity, sometimes you forget about the time. You go into it, and you are in there for a long, long time. Say, for example, you are baking, you are cooking, you are walking, you are cycling, you are writing, you are reading, yeah, you are doing activities that you enjoy. I need to know what activities that you enjoy, so at least to see majority have got an activity or hobby, or majority don't have. If majority don't have, then we have to do exercise. Exercise, yeah. Our exercise is about 20 minutes, approximately 20 minutes, 90 minutes. That consists of very gentle stretch that help you to go to sleep later. Yeah, gentle stretch, gentle movement, but not today. Gentle movement, gentle stretch. At least you know that when you are moving this part of the body, you know your attention can be there. So using various platform, hobby or activity for you to practice mindfulness of the body. To experience that the feeling is actually quite pleasant, because your mind can settle down on an object. It can be quite pleasant. Okay? So I will try to send you some kind of survey, so for you to let me know whether or not majority of you have got hobby or interest or activity that you notice you can zoom in for a while and you forget about the time. My case, for example, gardening, washing the dishes. I mean, nowadays I realize I got to wash dishes, right? So there's a whole bunch of dishes I wash, and I can be quite inside there. Yeah. Doing my exercise class. I'm doing exercise class almost every day. So these 20 minutes, I notice that I can be able to go in, even though I'm counting, but I can be inside there. It's quite therapeutic. Yeah, for some of you, playing music perhaps. Yeah. Now, now it's 8:40. I would like to reserve some time because it's the first day. I would like to reserve the rest of the time for question clarification. Rather than you type, I'd rather you on your video and at least you just ask the questions. Any clarifications, questions, additions, subtractions? So what is the key things I want you to take away after night session? Based on the way to stream entry, 4 criteria. I will take away these 4 things. Be these 4 things. What are these 4 things again? Say what I do what I say. Whatever you tell yourself, tomorrow I better go and meditate. Oh, when I go and walk that time, I want to go inside and then see really or not. Can I put my distraction away and experience samadhi even walking? I want to try that. Say what I do what I say. Because everybody got different way of telling yourself what to do, right? So say what I do what I say. So this, at the end of the day, I want you to take away these 4 things. Be these 4 things. Number 2, memorize the teaching of the Dhamma. So you memorize all this. Memorize all this. All this hand gesture. You have to memorize all this hand gesture. Or at least what you can do, you can record down and you send the video to me. I memorize, I'm not watching anything. I'll just memorize, fine. That's fine. There'll be a test. Maybe I will talk to Kuntek. We will issue the certificate attendance. For those who memorize all this, then that'll be good. Then for those who never memorize, then cannot take certificates. Yeah. What else do I need to do? Be what? Having appropriate attention. At least gross, gentle, subtle, nothing. I hold my attention and experience. Importantly, I experience samadhi. Be it temporarily, be it initially, be it for the moment. At least Somebody always like to ask, I meditate for 20 minutes, but most of the time, my mind all over the place, But I guarantee you, there will be a moment you notice you are inside there. So correct thinking, correct view says that the rest of the moment your mind's all over the place, don't look at that. Look at the moment you are inside there. Correct thinking. Set that as a foundation. Having appropriate attention. What else? Practicing according to the teaching of true Dhamma. Now, this true Dhamma is therefore, at the end of the 9 days, hopefully you memorize all this, it will be guided by the Dhamma itself. Based on what you understood, based on what you refer to, the Dhamma, access to insight, I always mention this website, access to insight, and your own mindfulness practice. Introspections. Mindfulness is to look inside, introspections. Of course, I will have some space for discussion on any issue, any topics that you want to bring it up. Yeah. Now, questions. Today we got 15 minutes because I take away the exercise session. You have to tell me what activities, hobbies that you have that you can go inside. Any questions?
Brother Nico.
Yes.
I'm Donna. I got a question regarding, we talk about Jhana.
Yes.
There are 4 Jhana according to, we practice the samatha meditation. So I practice a lot, but until now I don't have any feeling of attaining the Jhana at all. So I don't know whether I'm in first jhana or second jhana.
Yes.
Yeah. I do not have I don't know what is the jhana. What it means by jhana.
Yes. So you see, thanks Donna for the questions. Many people, they practice meditations very, very diligently. The reason they don't know because they're not familiar with the Dhamma. Because Dhamma, Eightfold Path, Five Hindrances very clearly talk about the concentrations. So in the past, I do not know what is jhana, so I practice all the time. I find it very peaceful, very good, you know. So at least I know I'm peaceful and good and comfortable. Yeah, I think I'm doing good, you know. But wasted because I am not practicing according to the teaching. I practice according to what I feel good. So again, the jhana is the first jhana. At least you know now there is 5 hindrances for you to experience. And at least you also know that there are four grades, right? We call that 4 level: gross, gentle, subtle, or nothing. Yeah. So when you're sitting down, I assume that you're sitting down. You're closing your eyes. When you're closing your eyes, if you're putting your attention on something, so I'm assuming it is very subtle. There is an attention and there is an object. So I take it as subtle. Yeah. Or if let's say you have a awareness, there is no attention and no subject awareness, then it is nothing. Yeah. So either subtle or nothing when you're sitting down, you definitely come to a moment where 7 factor enlightenment, you know you are quite mindful already. Your attention are settled down. That is where at that time, your thinking mind still working. Even though you're meditating, you are still able to question and answer. You are still able to question, investigate. Because you want to know specifically, is there absence of the 5 hindrances? You want to know specifically, is there absence of the 5 hindrances for me to experience the initial concentrations, the first jhana? So I question, so I investigate. So therefore, the 7 factor investigation comes in after the mindfulness, they investigate. So it's okay, which is good. You have some kind of foundation. So I hope that Dhamma memorization really helped, because the Buddha mentioned many times, come and see for yourself. Don't believe what I say. He mentioned many times. I mean, in fact, I mentioned many times because I find that this is so important, you know. So I keep on repeating again and again. So come and see for yourself. Don't believe what I say. The answer can be seen here and now when you practice. Okay, Donna?
Yeah, okay, thanks for that. I think I need to practice more.
Yeah, since you mentioned about this, I want to ask, since you're already on the mic, myself on the mic, is there any activities or hobbies that you have that you enjoy doing it until you engross inside?
Actually, when I do cleaning up, okay, and cleaning up a place, my house or what, yes, I can focus a lot. I will not be disturbed so easily. I focus more on the activity I'm doing.
Other than cleaning, what else do you have?
Walking. So I go out to walk. So yes, yeah, I can focus, you know, most of the time on. Yeah, thanks. On my.
Okay, I will use these two. I think these two also quite commonly among many of us. I mean, now we are stuck at home most of the time. We don't want to go out. Not that we can't, but just simply don't want to go out. So we do a lot of cleaning. Yes, I agree with you, because I'm also like that. When you are cleaning certain area, intentionally, the key word is intentionally be conscious what you're doing and intentionally draw out a bit to notice 5 hindrances not there. Notice that there is no other sense that pull what you are doing now away to get you distracted. Knowing that you are quite calm, no fear, no anger. You're just enjoying cleaning it. Knowing that you are not, drowsy, sleepy, or lethargy, very tired when you clean. No, just energy is there. You just keep on going and doing. Knowing that there is no opposing energy to draw what you are doing now away. See many, many times like this. intentionally. You have to initiate the intention to want to see. Because we have the ability, but if let's say we are not initiating the intention to want to see, you can't see. We are doing it all the time. Just like we can walk all the time, but if let's say I don't walk all the time, but I can't walk, I just cannot walk because I can walk, but I never try to walk. So we have this ability. It's just that we have to initiate the intention. I want to see whether this is there while you are cleaning. So tomorrow you try. Again, when you go for a walk, you do this. Walking is part of our session exercising also. Huh? When you go for a walk, you do this. Huh? You put your attention on the rhythms of your breathing. There's a rhythm, right? Yeah. You follow a step, like four steps, breathe in, 4 steps, breathe out, 4 steps, breathe in, 4 steps, breathe out. There's the rhythms. You do this. If happened that you saw a dog wearing yellow t-shirt and a pink bow tie coming towards you, notice the tension build up you want to see. Notice that, but you choose to let go and relax and don't see. You continue. So meaning to say that the whole environment, you choose to not get distracted by environment, whatever you see. You choose intentionally, initiate the intention, you choose to put your attention on the rhythm itself and nothing else. Of course, you know that from this place, this place to that particular point is safe, is very safe, safety first. So you know that if it's safe, then you initiate this intention to be like that. Like walking meditation, but it's just a bit fast only. And you find this again. And you try to sustain, maintain, prolong it. Because if you can do gentle, subtle, gross, gentle, subtle, then eventually when you do nothing, you notice that the mind state is almost the same. The mind state is just like that. The mind state, you turn on that mind state. Not sure is because we are not clear about the Dhamma. Therefore, I say, must memorize the Dhamma law. Listen to the teaching, not good enough. Because you listen to me is not proactive. I want you to memorize. Therefore, I discuss you couldn't take. We will give certification after everybody can memorize them. Those memorize, I give certificates. Yeah.
Thank you for the.
Yeah. Thank you for question. Like some more. Okay, understand or not?
Hi, Brother Nico.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, hi, Amanda here.
I can't hear you. A bit louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I tried. Yes.
Can hear me now?
Yes, like that better. Yeah, like better.
Yeah, okay. No, because I joined late. May I know which Dhamma teaching do you want us to memorize for this week for start?
Okay.
I'm not sure. I could have missed it.
Yeah, this one.
This
one.
Okay. I wrote it.
This one.
Okay.
This one.
Okay.
The way to stream entry, the 4 criteria, I want you to be the 4 criteria. Eventually, be the 4 criteria. So I put you in good hand first. Be the 4 criteria. What is the 4 criteria in the way to the path to the way to stream entry? Associate friend with integrity. So again, don't expect other people to have integrity. You yourself first. Say what I do what I say. So what are you going to tell yourself tonight? Then do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Can?
All right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So second, memorize the teaching of the true Dhamma, which is all this, this hand gesture, all this. Yeah, all this. Memorize all this. Having appropriate attention. So when you are cleaning your house, like Donna, cleaning the house, like going for a walk, then having appropriate attention. By choice, you initiate your intention, want to hold the attention and avoid everything else. It comes with practice. Last, practice in accordance to the teaching, to see for yourself. It's very clear, very direct, because is through the Dhamma itself.
When you say attention, means that means doing something and your mind is fully on that thing, right? But not thinking.
Yes,
right?
yes. Example, when you are cleaning the dishes, when you're cleaning the dishes, unconsciously, you may be thinking some other thing. Unconsciously, maybe you're listening to something else. So you intentionally, during this time, maybe you switch off the radio. Intentionally, this time, you flow into your dishes. You just pay attention on the dishes and you relax while you wash the dishes. And initially, you don't try to investigate first because you have to do it to get used to it first. So once you get used to it, you notice, oh yeah, now I notice it already. Then you investigate at that time. In any activities that you're doing as homework. Any activity, it can be walking, it can be, the last thing I've got a 60 activity, right? It can many activity, more than 60 activity actually. So tonight what you can do while you go to bed, right? Okay.
You just said sounds a bit like meditation to me, That means just focus on your object. Don't let your mind wander away somewhere else. Something like that, is it?
Also can. If you meditate, also can. But what I mean is that meditate is only maybe you're doing it during morning or maybe in the afternoon or for that 15 or 20 minutes, right? But what I'm suggesting is every moment.
In daily life, in your day-to-day.
Yes, day-to-day activities, day-to-day hobbies that you have or activities that you have or something that you engage that you have. Intentionally hold your attention. I was mentioning whatever age that we are in to 120 years old is quite short. It takes a while to practice this skill.
Yes.
It takes a while to practice this skill. At the end of 120 years old, we do not know who is talking beside us before we go. We don't want to be distracted, so I better train right now. We cannot also understand what thoughts will arise the next moment due to what I heard or due to my bodily discomfort, either fear or anger or attachment. Oh yeah, I remember my handphone, my handphone. Where is my handphone? At that 120 years old, handphone is the most least important things I want to remember. So can I hold my attention and then, so it takes a while to practice. So I have the end in mind to practice this as a objective, using the Dhamma as a guidance.
Yes. Okay. Can I say to cultivate our mind and prepare ourselves?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, thank you. That is the one. To cultivate the mind and prepare ourselves. Yes, because that's one thing very certain. Very certain. It's 120 years old. It's 120 years old.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Nico.
Yeah, thank you for question. Can I have one last question before we transfers or merits?
Brother Nico.
Yes, Mary.
How different is this step 3 different from practicing mindfulness?
Your question again one more time. How is
this step 3 about having appropriate attention on the object different from practicing mindfulness, or it is the same as practicing mindfulness?
Yes. Attention and on an object, they got 4 subjects. Attention on an object got 4 subjects. Mindfulness of the body as an object, right? Mindfulness of the feeling, at least you know, a bit more subtle. So either I mindfulness of the body or mindfulness of my activities. When I mindfulness of my activity, like washing the dishes, my attention has to be on an object, right? So I'm mindful on an object, not the body, but on an object itself. But this mindfulness of the body as an object. Mindfulness of the feeling arises, also an object. Mindfulness of the mind, activity of this body we call the mind, absent of the emotional mind, also an object. At least we know it disappears. Mindfulness of the mind object, the thought itself is an object. So until the thoughts also cease, how we know? Now, second jhana, because we know rapture happiness arise. Then you know, this is happiness. But you don't talk anymore, but you know. So therefore, the seeing, Buddha mentioned, the seeing is not seeing in your physical eye, but the seeing is knowing. The knowing is seeing. You know. Many times you can't describe by words. Many times you don't talk, but you know. Knowing is seeing. Yeah, so yes, having appropriate attention on an object is equivalent to mindfulness. Yes. Ken?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's close and then do your homework immediately tonight when you lie down, going to bed. Do your transference of merits. If you can chant, you remember you chant, because listening to the teaching of the Dhamma, you're doing good, you're avoiding evil, you are purifying your mind. So this itself is a meritics, create a lot of merits for yourself. Yeah. So by doing good, avoid evil, purifying the mind, listen to the teaching of the Dhamma itself is a very good merit you create for yourself. So when you lie down again, you chant one more time, transference of merits to all the beings. Yeah. So let's share this part here. Okay. Oops. Let me just go to that slide, huh? Okay. Okay, let's put our hand together. Transfer our merits. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahidika punyam tam anumoditva chiram rakantu loka sasanam. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahidika punyam tam anumoditva chiram rakantu desanam. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahidika punyam tam anumoditva chiram rakantu mam param. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.